I am Kesten Rono, and you are here for day 8 of A Course in Miracles. I'd like to start today by revisiting some of the core values, core principles, core foundations, core beliefs that I offered to you in the first lesson. So if you'd like to close your eyes, we could take one perfect breath together. So breathing out all the air. Big breath in. Exhale. You've come a long way. Please repeat after me and let these words just land. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am abundant. And I am complete. Big breath in. Exhale. Relax. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here for our continued practice. One day at a time, allowing one lesson to saddle one day at a time. Yesterday, we had a very simple principle we covered, which is that miracles are everyone's right. You are entitled to view miracles. You are entitled to see miracles in your life. You are entitled to feel miracles. What are miracles? We don't know, and they do not matter. What matters is their source, which is love. All expressions of love are maximal. From love springs forth miracles, and miracles mean life. And we are guided toward this feeling of love, this effervescence, this subconscious connection to something happening around us. We are guided to this and through this process through God's specific words, which will tell us everything we need to know, direct us in the direction of love, if we're willing to allow this idea to settle within us. Miracles are natural. They should be occurring all the time. They are habitual. We should allow miracles to feel involuntary. And if they're not occurring, then something else has gone wrong. Perhaps we've tried to grasp conscious control and dictate what we believe should be addressed in our lives. But here, we want to free up our mind from assigning meaning or a different meaning to any item or idea or version of any way we could be upset. As such, I believe we can release timing and expectation, allow ourselves to settle into the present, into this natural flow of love to which we have been blinded by the way that we have chosen to see life. And yesterday we covered a very important principle, super simple, 5 words. I see only the past. And this idea introduced to us that anything that we are interacting with in our life today, we have allocated some kind of value or use, application, understanding, weight, emotion from our associations with this item from the past. If we've never interacted with any of the items in our lives, then we don't know what they are at all. And as such, we carry forth the ideas from our experiences, each being different for you, for me, and assign them to the items and ideas with which we interact in our present lives. Therefore, we allow ourselves to say, I see only the past in this item. I see only the past in this table. I see only the past in these chairs. I see only the past in these plants. I see only the past in myself. I hope you tried this idea on yesterday. Today we're going to introduce a new principle, principle number 8. Miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. Miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. So, some new ideas here. The process of a miracle being experienced is a healing process. They are feeling some void. How it's created, we don't know. But if I have something that could be of value to you, possibly love being the source of miracles, and I am able to share that with you, I am offering my relative more to your relative less. It's some kind of transfer of energy from those who have more to those who have less, or from those who have more being you to those who have less being me. Thank you for your participation in love, for the creation of miracles, allowing your intuitive voice from God to spring forth within you. Miracles are healing. What we discover through love that gives birth to life is a healing process. And one's access to this love and its manifestations as a miracle is a healing process, filling some kind of lack in the environment, some kind of energy exchange from those who temporarily have more to those who temporarily have less, some energetic osmosis. It's a beautiful thing to relax into, because what that would mean is that if we've overextended ourselves somehow into some void, that we are ripe for miracles. If we have a lack, if we are feeling lack, perhaps if the words feeling abundant and powerful and complete and worthy, do not settle for you today. We can release our fears, our upsets about these ideas because we are available for miracles. We are available for love. Our cup is not full and overflowing because of our experience in life, because of how we are seeing only the past. And God's voice will allow those who have more to offer us some of that love. And as such, there's an exchange of love and energy in the process of discovering miracles. We cannot give what we do not have, is an idea I've sat with for a while. And another one is, we are never given more than we can handle. Miracles here as described as a healing process, supplying a lack, performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. That means people who have acquired love or whatever it is that makes a miracle manifest, they have something to give. We need not worry if we do not have something to give. We can always give our best. And maybe we have something to give relative to another person who finds themselves in some mental state where they believe they have less. They are not feeling worthy, powerful, abundant, complete. And perhaps we're starting to catch on to that idea. We always have everything we need. We are doing the best with everything that we have on this quest, looking for love through the lens of our past. And if we find ourselves low, we can give gratitude to this universal process that allows us to receive love if only we can release timing and expectation. So may you feel your abundance of love and your opportunity to share it, and may you feel worthy, powerful, abundant, and complete, knowing that this process of all there is includes everyone around us. and that there is some kind of energy exchange that will again allow us to feel full, overflowing our cup of abundance, such that we may continue to give to those who are lacking around us, knowing that we can never run out as we enter into the process of loving miracles. Okay. Miracles are healing. May you invite healing into your life. As we move on to lesson 8. Lesson 8 reads, "My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts." Lesson 8 suggests that your mind is preoccupied. My mind is preoccupied. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This feels as though it's building upon I only see the past. With more specificity, I allow myself to accept that my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea is, of course, the reason why you see only the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. We see only our thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of misconception about time, from which your seeing suffers. Say that again. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of misconception about time, from which your seeing suffers. So my seeing suffers because I have a misconception about time, meaning that I am seeing everything from the past. I see only the past. And my preoccupation with the past is the cause of this misconception of time. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time, and cannot, in fact, understand anything. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time, and cannot, in fact, understand anything. I feel that I've made significant progress in allowing myself to relax into the present, insofar as I'm able to feel more of my feelings, and I do really feel an intuitive voice speaking up. It's part of the reason I'm here speaking to you at all, speaking to myself at all. And yet here I'm still willing to exist that my mind is not fully grasping the present, which this is saying all there is. Something that has allowed me to accept presence more, the opportunity for presence in the present, is that just linearly, logically, any time that I existed in the past, I was in the present. In the present, I find myself in the present. And in the future, I imagine I will find myself in the present again. And one thing that has become clear to me is that as I age across time, and I see myself differently in the mirror, my conscious perception of the world around me appears not to age at all. In that sense, my presence feels timeless. My awareness feels timeless. And the more that I am willing to accept, I don't know what's going on at all, I find more meaning and feeling and more anchoring in whatever the presence is, and more of a release of timing, and my expectations, knowing that all I really have is right now. Perhaps you can wrap your mind around the same idea and even let it sink in a little bit and see if it's powerful for you. That at any time that you existed in the present with whatever experience that you've had that far. And that's all you were able to base everything that you saw around you on. So indeed, we were always seeing the past in the present, and we always exist in the present. And there's some amount of levity in realizing that our conscious perspective, our ability to be aware and receive information and feeling that this does not age. or at least that's my current understanding. That is how I feel. That while I age physically, my family changes, my grandparents pass away, my dog gets older. Something about my perception only grows fuller with my invitation to feel. And in this sense, I find myself in the present at all times. And the world around me appears to be what is changing. But for today, I will admit that my mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time and cannot, in fact, understand anything. I am releasing my egoic hold, my control, my conscious control over this miracle process, and willing to admit that I do not understand anything, that my ideas, these items around me, my upsets, do not mean anything. I have assigned all the meaning I can to them. I see only in the past, and am curious about the present. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. The one wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this because it is not really thinking about anything. This is suggesting that the past is an illusion, and to live in the past is an illusion. And therefore we could extrapolate or wait, but very likely our emotions, our chemical reactions that we have tied to memories in the past are illusions, painting our present experience. The purpose of the exercises for today is to begin to train your mind to recognize when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. While thoughtless ideas, those being a preoccupation with the past or the future. When thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Here we're on a quest for abundance, truth, and love. Truth being one of our North Stars, we are willing to release this idea that our mind is preoccupied with thoughtlessness about the past or the future. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank, rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas, is the first step to opening the way to vision. May we recognize that our minds are merely blank. The exercises for today should be done with eyes closed. This is because you actually cannot see anything, and it is easier to recognize that no matter how vividly you may picture a thought, you are not seeing anything. With as little investment as possible, search your mind for the usual minute or so, merely noting the thoughts you find there. Name each one by the central figure or theme it contains, and pass on to the next. So we're going to scan our mind for a minute, just note what we're finding, and we are going to name each one by the central figure or theme it contains, and then move on. Introduce the practice period by saying, I seem to be thinking about blank. I seem to be thinking about a mild headache, some fatigue, slurring my speech. Now I seem to be thinking about relaxing those ideas. Then name each of your thoughts specifically. For example, I seem to be thinking about name of a person, about name of an object, about name of an emotion. So we're going to scan our minds and allow ourselves to say something like, I seem to be thinking about my mother. I seem to be thinking about my dog, which I am often. I seem to be thinking about love, and so on. concluding at the end of the mind searching period with, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So for this minute, we'll be actively allowing ourselves to say, I seem to be thinking about X, whether that be a person, emotion. And then when we're done with the 1 minute, we will say, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I seem to be thinking about blank for 1 minute. And then we will admit to ourselves, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This can be done 4 or 5 times during the day, unless you find it irritates you. If you find it trying, 3 or 4 times is sufficient. You might find it helpful, however, to include your irritation or any emotion that the idea for today may induce in the mind searching itself. Very interesting. So whatever emotion we find, even about this exercise specifically, or the emotions I find about my delivery of these exercises, I'm willing to bring into the exercise and admit to myself simply that my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So 3 to 5 times today. Do you have 3 minutes? Maybe 5 minutes? Would you like to close your eyes for 3 or 5 different periods today? Do you imagine that there will be some kind of downtime, that you will have been worked up or accomplished some goal and you will want to take a little bit of respite? 1 minute is 6 breaths. Do you have 6 breaths? 3 times? Let's take 1 minute here together and scan our minds. We can start now. Please close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Sit in silence. Scan your thoughts. Is someone coming to mind? Is my voice calming? Is my voice irritating? Are you in a hurry to open your eyes? Instead of stopping this video, if you've made it this far, do you dare continue? Even in your frustration or busyness? Are you discovering bliss? Are you worried about somebody? Are you excited about something you believe will happen today? How do you feel right now, sitting where you are? Can you hear any elements? Wind? Water? Perhaps you can hear road noise or the busy city, someone speaking, the radio. Select one item, one idea, and please, let's just try out loud calling that item or idea, person to your mind. Please say out loud, I seem to be thinking about blank. One more time, out loud, please. I seem to be thinking about, and before we open our eyes, may we say, aha, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Opening your eyes, let's take a breath. Excellent. I see only the past, and my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I'm willing to let this idea into my life. that what I see is shaped by the past, and what I feel and think about is simply a preoccupation with the past, blinding me from noticing my presence, timelessness, infinite consciousness, some gift. May we find more presence. May we rediscover the present and whatever is to be noticed there, however that is done. I'm looking forward to finding out with you. But for today, 2 to 4 more times, please find a place to safely close your eyes. Allow yourself to breathe and relax, whether you are anxious, angry, or peaceful. Scan your mind for names, ideas, feelings, upsets. Allow yourself to notice them and say, I seem to be thinking about blank. And when you close, allow yourself to admit, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I am Kesten Rono, and I am very grateful for you being here, trying these ideas on with me and reflecting on how you feel as we compound these exercises day by day. Today is day 8, and you are doing great. Thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow for day 9 of A Course in Miracles. Be well.